Style practice that originated in Ghana and was set aside for royalty. Well, it's made by hand on a loom. Kente means basket, and it consists of more than 350 patterns. Our next guest is on a mission to share this vibrant, iconic cultural symbol. He is the founder and CEO of the luxury home decor company, Obrempong Home. It is our pleasure to welcome back to Here and Now, Kwame Sarfa. Very nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too, Ms. Brooklyn.
Yeah, the last time you were here, you were opening your heart and doing all you could to support a pantry at a high school in Newark.
Yes, Barrington High School. Yes.
And now you're here. You're on a different kind of mission.
Yes, I am. Yes. So I started my company, Obrempong Home, about a year ago. And the goal, I had two main goals with it. The first was to share the rich culture of Ghana. That was the first one. And second, to bring about jobs to the artisans in the rural areas. So I said to myself, you know what? Everywhere I look, I see, African prints, mudcloth, things like that. And I said, there's no one really selling the real, authentic cloth, Kente, from Ghana. So I went back to Ghana, stayed there for 6 months, went to the town where Kente cloth started, where we've been weaving it since the 1600s. And I said, hey, I have an idea. I want to take our cloth that we use for funerals and weddings, special traditions, and use it in a different avenue, home decor. And the first they were like, okay, whatever, we'll try it out. So we did that. We made one first test blanket, brought it back to America. People loved it. People were stopping me, where'd you get that? Oh, what is that? That's so cool, that's unique. And I said, you know what? I have something, I'm onto something here. So since then I went back and we have just been producing the best Kente blankets possible in the world.
Now, is your heritage Ghanaian?
Yes, my heritage, yes, I'm Ghanaian by background.
All right.
I came from Ghana in the 80s and made this beautiful young man you see today.
Yes, they did. They made a very beautiful young man. But one of the things you're doing, and perhaps it's my fault, you're burying the lead. You sort of had this epiphany after you had a very bad accident. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yes, so unfortunately, May 11th, 2021, I kind of got a second chance at life. I was walking home and a car ran a light going about 60 miles per hour and it hit me. Unfortunately, there were no eyewitnesses, there was no cameras, so I was in bad shape. First thing, I had a brain bleed, so I was unconscious for about 2 weeks. I had a C1, C2 fracture of my neck, so I couldn't move. I had a halo on, so I couldn't really turn my body. My hip was shattered, so I had to get 5 screws put into my hip. My right arm, I had ANX, like nerve damage, so I can't lift it past 90 degrees still to this day. I just had like 6 or 7 diagnoses. And the doctor said I could recover, hopefully in about 2 years, but they didn't know what the quality of life that I would have. And thankfully, I was able to make a almost full recovery in about 6 months.
Thank God.
Thank the Lord. Like miracles happen, because I was laying in the hospital bed for 18, 20 hours a day, just looking out the window, thinking what's next, and then peeing in a catheter, and all of a sudden I'm back to normal and just trying to make an impact in the world and in my own special way.
And you've decided that this is one way you can do that. As you pointed out, you're not only introducing many people to this beautiful tradition, you're also helping folks that actually do this beautiful work get recognized.
Exactly, because like in Ghana, we've been doing this, like I said, since the 1600s, and there's someone there who's weaving this on a thread for over 400 hours just to make one full cloth. And I really want to just showcase their work, showcase like Ghana craftsmanship. Like instead of just buying a blanket that has a print, buy the actual thing from the person who's actually spending time and putting in the work to make this amazing piece.
Now, we did a segment recently, and it was about an exhibit at the museum in Brooklyn of African arts. And one of the things that I learned, interestingly enough, I didn't know this, was that many of the cloths that we just think about as pretty here, there are messages in them. And in some countries in Africa, there were political messages. It was a way for folks to communicate. Talk to me a little bit about what the Kente cloth says and means in Ghana.
Yeah, so Kente cloth is very rich in culture to the Ghana culture. Like this is worn by royals. Like in the beginning, this is worn by the kings, the queens, like people in royal positions.
Now, is that because it is so beautiful and because it took so long to make?
Exactly. Like the quick little story behind it, 2 warriors were in the forest and they saw a spider, and Nancy the spider, weaving a web. So they just decided to replicate the same pattern on the cloth. They showed it to the king. The king was like, I love this. I'm going to make this a cloth to be worn by the royals, and since then, since that day when the two people made it, it's been worn by royals, special occasions. You may see it at weddings nowadays, but it has like that rich culture to it. Like this is specifically for the kings.
Okay.
And I've decided to take the idea and say, you know what? Why not use it for something else? Like, it still has its cultural value, but why
Yes.
not? Let's put it into a different avenue.
Yeah, well, you've introduced it to all of these people who didn't know its cultural significance necessarily.
Yes.
You know, it's, whenever you buy something, you're given something. That backstory is
Yes.
always so important, and it's part of the reason you love whatever that item is.
Exactly.
So talk to me a little bit about what is available.
Yes, so we have a couple of different pieces. I try to make sure that every piece is unique. So even if there are 3 of these blankets, this is the Ya Santua. Each blanket is going to be different. There's no 2 blankets that look alike. They don't have the same cut, same textile. It's going to be different. So in a sense, each piece is unique.
It's distinctive.
Exactly. If you buy 2 pieces, they're both going to be different. And the best part is, like, for example, this is the Ya Santua. We felt like it'd be perfect for this segment because, you know, Ms. Brooklyn, you are killing things. You're a Black woman, a pioneer in the industry. And we figured this would be perfect because Ya Santua, quick little backstory, she was the first Ashanti queen, or she was the first Ashanti general to lead an army to fight the British for the War of the Stool,
Okay.
War of the Golden Stool. So she was the first woman to lead an army.
So you're saying I'm like a warrior.
You basically are. You, Ms. Brooklyn, you are a warrior. So that's
Okay.
why we felt like this would be perfect.
All right, you can come back.
Okay.
Just kidding, just kidding. What's been the reaction to the products that you're offering?
Yes. So I've had a little bit of both. Like there's some people say, this is beautiful. I love this. Where can I get some? And then there are some people who can, they'll say, not negative Nancy, but they'll say, why are you doing this? Because once again, it is very rich to the culture. So they're saying, why are you taking something that is used for kings and putting it on a blanket? But I'm looking at it in the sense of, why don't we use it for another, like, why not use it in a different way? Like instead of just saving it for, how many kings are gonna buy this cloth per year? How many weddings are we gonna go to a year? Why not use it in a different area that's not being touched, which is home decor? So the people that say don't do it, I just say, visionaries have different ideas and we all have our purpose, and sometimes our calling you may not see, but that's why it's for someone else. So I just gonna keep doing it, gonna keep bringing the patterns, the designs.
And I think it's important what you mentioned too, that these folks that spend so much time
Yes.
on this, and their expertise and the cultural significance of this, truly you want to be able to share that with the world, right?
We really do. For example, this.
And for them to get credit, but also to make profit off of their
Yes.
own work.
Yes, that part. Like, for example, this blanket, this took about 250 hours to complete. Like, even the patterns, like the colors, like every color in Kente cloth has a different meaning. For example, purple could be for fertility, white is for birth. Like, there's so many different patterns and intricacies that went into this craftsmanship, and I just want to highlight it and showcase people saying, you know what, I want the world to see the work that you're doing. Like, you sat on a loom for 8 hours a day for over 250 hours to make this cloth. You're going to get your recognition, and you're going to get you're going to get paid well. Excuse me, get that C word.
Yeah, and get the credit you deserve
That part
instead of
as well.
somebody coming in and essentially stealing your work.
Exactly. And one real quick piece. The good thing about this is Kente cloth, it has to be done by hand. Like, it's been done by hand since the 1600s.
Yeah.
Right
For
now,
it to be authentic.
Exactly. Like, you'll see a lot of people come and they'll do like the wax print, so they just do it on the machine. But this, hand woven.
This is the real thing.
Real deal.
And I think what I saw was pillows,
Yes.
throws, and blankets.
Yes.
Is
correct.
that?
Yeah, throw pillows and throw blankets.
And there's a website,
Yes, it is.
Obремponghome.com.
You got it.
And is that the location we can find the products for now? And what's your hope in the future?
Yeah, so that's where you can find the products for now. And my hope, the next step, I want to go big. I definitely want to go big. So the first goal I want to do is I want to build a warehouse in Ghana for this. Like right now, we don't have a facility where we're able to mass produce or make this every day. So I want to raise enough money to have a facility for it. And then the next step, we want to go big. Think of Saks Fifth, we want to be right there. You know,
Okay.
Black History Month is coming, bam, Obrempong home blanket.
All right,
So
you got to think big if you're going to get there.
go big or go home.
Kwame Sarfo, so nice to see you
Nice to
again.
see you too as well.
And we're so glad that you are physically doing better.
Thank you.
Obремponghome.com.
Yes.
All
that's
right.
it.
Thank you,
Thank you so much,
and happy 2024.
Same to you. Thank you.
Right. We'll be right back.